There are over 16,000 tree species threatened with extinction worldwide. These trees are more than just part of the landscape. They store carbon, protect soil and water, provide food and shelter for countless species, and support local communities.
Quiero compartir con ustedes la importancia del proyecto financiado por la Fundación Franklínia para el archipiélago de Juan Fernández. Gracias a esta iniciativa pudimos impulsar la restauración trabajando con 17 especies de árboles endémicas que son esenciales para la restauración de estos ecosistemas.
We work on saving the endangered Scalesia cordata tree from extinction. Scalesia cordata can only be found on the southern part of Isabela, and it's endemic to this island. The remnant Scalesia patches host unique plant and animal species like the Darwin's finches, but they are under threat from invasive plants like the guava, sionweed, and blackberry.
The Chocó is very important because it has almost the same level of biodiversity as the Amazon, but it's far more threatened. For example, on 1 hectare, so 100 by 100 meters in the forest here in our reserve, which you see in the background, we have about 330 different species of trees. And that is about 30% more than what we find, the levels that we find in the Amazon, where you have typically on a hectare 250 different species of trees. And what's more important, many of those trees are unique to the Chocó, meaning that they only occur here. So typically in plants, we have about 20 to 25% of all the species that we are called endemic, also unique to the Chocó. And that means more than 60 do not occur anywhere else in the world. And this is why we lose these species, we lose the entire ecosystem with the continuous deforestation that we are seeing here in the Chocó day in, day out.
En Salvamontes, Colombia, las magnolias son nuestra inspiración y nuestra razón de ser. Desde el 2016 venimos protegiendo su hábitat y desde el 2021, gracias al apoyo de la Fundación Franklínia, venimos desarrollando el proyecto Salvando Magnolios, que se enfoca en la conservación de 3 especies endémicas del norte de los Andes tropicales, como la magnolia polypsófila, la magnolia guatapensis y magnolia yarumalensis.
And our tropical forest program is about restoration and botanics all together. We work with over 300 tree species because, of course, this is one of the most biodiverse areas in the world. In the 6 nurseries we have, they also serve as a center for education and learning. On these 300 species that we work with, there are 40 species that are to some degree rare or endangered, some of them like super critically endangered. So among these rare trees that we work with, here in the lowlands we have the Pleodendron costarricensis, which was recently discovered as new as like 2014, and there are only 7 trees in the wild. We have been able to propagate over 500 seedlings of that species. Our program is also doing a lot of education about these rare and endangered species and their value for animals and their social values and their cultural values. Our ideas is to expand our impact, not only in the region, but also continue generating valuable knowledge that can be used for other similar projects in the neotropics and in the tropics in general, on how to preserve these rare species in the landscape where you work at.
Tanjogna amin'ity projet ity zegny dia hagnano intégration des sapotacées de Madagascar au programme national de reforestation. De magnoloana zegny amizay zegny misy aire protégée maromaro zegny no iasanay amin'ny projet ity amin'ny zone avaratra ty. Tanjogno amin'ny le asa atao zegny mba hamokatra zanaka kakazo maromaro. De io koa zegny le fagnarahagna maso le espèce efa somary menacé zegny iro. 15 amin'ny espèce io zegny en danger. De 16 amindreo espèce aby koa zegny no en danger critique.
With generous funding from Foundation Franklínia, Wildlife Alliance is restoring over 1,000 hectares of degraded forest in Phnom Sam Coast Wildlife Sanctuary. The project includes planting 7 IUCN threatened tree species. Seeds are sourced from the Cardamom Mountains, nurtured at our Million Tree Nursery, and planted at the reforestation site in Chaibor Pen. Not only does the project revitalize the landscape, but it enhances the local community through job creation.
Seguimos produzindo, em média, 60 mil mudas por ano, de mais de 250 espécies, buscando sempre maior diversidade genética e reintroduzindo plantas que até pouco tempo estavam desaparecendo das paisagens. Mas os desafios são grandes. O cenário ambiental no Brasil é frágil e nosso trabalho, embora essencial, também vive sob risco. Ainda assim, resistimos, dando continuidade e ampliando nossas ações. Somos 14 pessoas com sangue verde nas veias. Viajamos em busca de vida, fazemos esperanças germinar nas sementeiras, irrigamos sonhos de mais florestas, cultivamos mais natureza em nossos canteiros e plantamos esses sonhos para que talvez uma nova geração possa vê-los crescer e continue sonhando como nós.
We are here in the nursery, in Eden Nursery. I'm the son of Eden. We work in this nursery. We collect different seeds from different trees. Here now we have different seedling of Biswillia. This help coming from Franklina project. Thanks for this project because in 2015 we have big problem here in Socotra. The cyclone is coming and damage everything. The Franklina project is coming help us to grow the seeds of all the Biswillia because we have more in 7 species of Biswillia in Socotra. It's now 12 species.
With your support, we're restoring the native biodiversity and ecosystem health of one of Hawaii's last coastal hollow forests. You have helped us launch a long-term restoration effort, removing invasive species, restoring native plant cover, and propagating native trees like Lama, which is Diospyros seochensis, Lolu, Perchardia aracina, and Nanu, Gardenia remiae. The funding was a turning point for us. It helped us expand our team, build trails, and care for the plants and the cultural legacy of this land. Mahalo nui to the Franklinia Foundation for your vision and commitment to protecting biodiversity around the world.
Through the Franklinia project in Atiwa, we've been able to train communities around the Atiwa forest on the importance of the threatened species and help them to identify the species. We have trained them on best practices for collecting planting material, that is seedlings and seeds of the species, raising them and planting. And we have identified some community members who are helping scouting the Atiwa forest to protect the young seedlings of the threatened species.
Our partnership with you is unique because of its focus on rare and threatened tree species, and particularly around recovery action. And our collective experience that we've generated over that time, together with the new data being generated by the Global Tree Assessment, is enabling us to scale up that conservation action across our global network. Last year, we supported the recovery of over 340 different tree species.
The next steps are to focus on specific conservation actions, such as conserving the most threatened forest ecosystems in the country, which are found around the capital city and are close to collapse, and conserving the most threatened tree species which are scattered throughout Gabon.
At the back of our site is Singharaja Rainforest, and the opposite side of us, Iharakan, the proposed forest reserve. Our project aims to connect these two forest patches through and down a biodiversity corridor. Thanks to the funding from Franklinia Foundation as well as from River Conservation, now we have been able to preserve well over 54 threatened tree species from these adjacent landscapes within our site. Through our project, we have been empowering these local communities through various livelihood improvement programs. At the same time, we have been teaching them how we should and we can preserve the threatened tree flora in the local landscapes.
Di tengah situasi yang dihadapi hujan di dunia, termasuk di Indonesia, dukungan dari Franklinia untuk melindungi dan memulihkan pohon Dipterocarpaceae merupakan dukungan yang sangat penting bagi kami untuk meneruskan dan menyelamatkan ekosistem penting yang mulai menghilang ini. Melalui proyek ini, kami menemukan bibit Dipterocarpaceae di Hutan Harapan, dan kami memperbanyaknya secara berkelanjutan. Kami melibatkan masyarakat setempat dalam upaya restorasi ini. Proyek ini membantu kami untuk melindungi dan memulihkan hutan harapan, sekaligus mengeksplorasi berbagai cara untuk menghasilkan pendapatan bagi masyarakat setempat tanpa harus menebang pohon Dipterocarpaceae.
We are working closely together with the Galapagos National Park Directorate to control invasive species at key sites where Scalesia cordata still survives. We collect seeds, germinate them in the greenhouse, and replant the seedlings in the field to support population recovery. We also engage with the local community on Isabella to raise awareness and foster strong connection with nature, helping to ensure the sustainability of our restoration.
Growing in distinctly small habitats, the Coco de Mer face multiple threats on the effects of climate change as well as anthropogenic stresses. And two of the main pertinent threats to the palm tree species are forest fires as well as illegal harvesting of the fruit. The project came at a really opportune time in order for us to enforce our adaptive measures in effectively preventing and responding to such threats. Such activities that this project supported was a fire response training that was conducted within the local community. We conducted our first anti-poaching march after COVID. It was quite incredible to see. We had over 150 participants from local schools to a resort. They all came together to really advocate the need to protect the flagship species.
Saat ini kami menangani beberapa proyek, salah satunya mengenai riset ilmiah tentang tumbuhan dan satwa liar, kemudian pelestarian spesies RTE ataupun langka, terancam, dan terancam punah.
Berkat dukungan ini, kami akan melakukan penanaman lebih dari 5.280 individu pohon pada 12 hektar hutan kritis dan setidaknya memberi dampak positif terhadap 182 keluarga. Namun ini bukan hanya bicara soal angka, ini lebih dari itu, ini soal peradaban dan harapan bagi seluruh ekosistem yang pada dasarnya saling terhubung satu sama lainnya.
Começamos pequenos, grupo de amigos, 2 canteiros, 5 espécies e muita vontade. Hoje temos o viveiro com a maior diversidade de espécies da floresta araucária no mundo. Nos mais de 14 anos da iniciativa, tivemos mais de 3.100 árvores cadastradas, 400.000 mudas produzidas, sendo 100.000 de espécies ameaçadas, e centenas de plantios em mais de 30 localidades. Graças à Franklínia, também publicamos mais de 40 trabalhos científicos e contribuímos com a educação e sensibilização de milhares de pessoas, incluindo povos indígenas, agricultores, estudantes e pesquisadores.
Durante este proyecto sembramos más de 300 nuevos individuos, encontramos y protegimos 205 árboles adultos en su hábitat natural. Adquirimos 2 nuevos predios, sumando 306 nuevas hectáreas protegidas para estas especies, y cuidamos más de 770 hectáreas de bosque con manejo especializado en biodiversidad.
Durante el desarrollo de este proyecto hemos impactado a más de 2.000 personas, entre niños, jóvenes y adultos en procesos de educación ambiental y recorridos interpretativos, fortaleciendo así el vínculo entre el bosque y las comunidades.
Además, realizamos la capacitación de 24 personas en el fortalecimiento de viveros, manejo y recolección de semillas.
Gracias a este proyecto, nuestra vida ha mejorado demasiado. Dejamos de ser carboneros a pasar a conservar las magnolias y a cuidar el medio ambiente.
Faida ya msitu wa Magombera ni nyingi. Tumenunua shamba ambalo la msitu ambalo kuna eka 3 na zaidi. Kwa hiyo tumepanda miti na tumejiwekea mikakati kwamba mtu yeyote atakayeingia kule kwenye msitu, ina maana kwamba atapigwa faini ya 50,000. Lengo kuto kuharibu mazingira na kusababishia msitu kupotea.
The project brought together a diversity of national stakeholders and led the development of Conservation Action Plan for Uganda's threatened tree species.
Je suis malgache et il m'importe profondément que notre patrimoine naturel puisse être préservé pour que mon jeune fils puisse en profiter à son tour.
Agradecemos muchísimo a la Fundación Franklinia por creer en este proyecto Salvando Magnolias. Deseamos que en estos 20 años de existencia continúen fortaleciendo e impactando la conservación de la naturaleza en todo el mundo.
At Limahuli Garden and Preserve, your support helped us restore native forest and safeguard Kauai endemic trees in one of Hawaii's most biodiverse valleys.
We boldly say that the world sees you, honors you, and celebrates you even in silence. Happy 20th Anniversary Foundation Franklinia.
Thank you, Fundación Franklinia, for 20 years of impact and for being part of our journey.
En este momento quiero darle las gracias a la Fundación Franklinia por el apoyo que nos están brindando para restaurar estos hermosos bosques.
I wish Franklinia Foundation the best and grateful for their support in the island. Thank you.
Thank you, Foundation Franklinia, for 20 years of commitment to nature. Congratulations, and let's keep growing together.
Thank you to Fundación Franklinia for helping to scale up tree conservation action in Latin America and the Caribbean.
We would like to thank Fundación Franklinia for making our work possible, and congratulations on 20 years of commitment to protecting threatened tree species around the world.
On your 20th anniversary, we extend our deepest gratitude for your unwavering support. Together, we are creating a sustainable future for both people and nature. Thank you.
So on behalf not only of the Tropical Forest Team, but of the OSA Conservation Team as a whole, thank you, Franklinia, for the continuing support for our program and for tree conservation in Southern Costa Rica.
Selamat ulang tahun Franklinia yang ke-20 tahun. Terima kasih sudah menjadi bagian dari perjalanan kami memulihkan hutan, menjaga bumi, dan juga menumbuhkan harapan.
Ainda tupco, rarsu, botikti a anta.
Estamos gratos pelo vosso apoio.
Franklinia é mamá boba vama.
Feliz aniversário, Franklinia, que venham anos mais verdes.
Thank you, Franklinia, for your support. Thank you, Franklinia Foundation, for your support.
Thank you, Franklinia, for supporting the protection of the Kokodume.
Gracias, Fundación Franklinia.
Merci.
Foundation Franklinia. Aiku Yetamasi. Kawan Franklinia.
Happy birthday, Franklinia. Utara Harapan, maju terus, pantang mundur.